you ever felt like life is just too heavy? Like no matter how hard you try, stress, anxiety, or sadness just won't let go? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions of people across the US are struggling mentally every single day. Students, parents, workers, even people who look perfectly fine on the outside. But here's the good news. There's a simple tool called the 5 Ps of mental health that can actually help us understand what's going on and how to take back control of our lives. These 5 Ps are presenting problem, predisposing factors, precipitating factors, perpetuating factors, and protective factors. Let's break each one down, step by step. Meet Jason, a 32-year-old IT worker from Dallas, Texas. On the outside, he looked like he had it all together. A steady job, a nice apartment, and friends to hang out with on weekends. But inside, Jason was drowning. Every night his mind raced with anxiety and he couldn't sleep. He kept asking himself, why am I feeling this way? That's when the 5 Ps framework became a turning point in his story. The first P is presenting problem. This is the main issue someone is dealing with right now. For Jason, it was his constant anxiety and sleepless nights. For you, it could be stress at work, sadness after a breakup, or even feeling stuck in life. The second P is predisposing factors. These are the things in your past that make you more vulnerable to mental health struggles. For Jason, it was growing up in a family where emotions weren't really talked about. He learned to bottle things up, and that carried into adulthood. For some people, it might be childhood trauma, genetics, or even the environment they grew up in. This isn't about blame. It's about understanding where your foundation came from. Third, we have precipitating factors. These are the triggers, the events that suddenly bring the problem to the surface. For Jason, it was the sudden shift to remote work during the pandemic. The isolation, endless video calls, and lack of routine became too much. For others, it could be losing a job, a breakup, financial pressure, or a health scare. Ask yourself, what event triggered the way I'm feeling now? The fourth P is perpetuating factors. These are the habits or cycles that keep the problem alive. For Jason, it was avoiding calls from his friends, staying up late scrolling through his phone, and drinking more than usual just to calm his nerves. Maybe for you, it's negative self-talk, unhealthy coping habits, or pushing away people who care about you. Once you see what's keeping you stuck, you can start to break the cycle. And finally, the most hopeful one, protective factors. These are the supports and strengths that help you recover. For Jason, it was finally opening up to a close friend, starting therapy, and adding morning walks into his routine. For you, protective factors could be faith, exercise, journaling, therapy, or simply spending time with people who make you feel safe. Think of these as your shield against stress. So when we put it all together, the 5 Ps give us the whole story. What's happening now? Presenting problem. Why you're vulnerable? Predisposing factors. What triggered it? Precipitating factors. What keeps it alive? Perpetuating factors. And what protects you? Protective factors. This framework doesn't solve everything overnight, but it gives you clarity. And sometimes, clarity is the first step to freedom. So now you know the 5 Ps of mental health. The problem, the past, the trigger, the cycle, and the shield. But here's the real question. Which one are you facing in your own life right now? Drop it in the comments, because naming it is the first step to taking back control.